way to do it is to have it, if you want to be
how you could get an advantage for the next patch, though?
Raid.
Savage.
Raid Savage. Ooh. Oh, she just wrecked you, Aniero.
Because you can get the upgrade items early, and you can get 240 weapons from it.
Yeah, why don't I just put my dick in a paper shredder too? Do you know, like
it would fit?
Oh,
okay. Well, then I have a question for all of you people, because when
all of you people, what is that?
Wow, what does that mean?
As in the non-raiders. As in the non-raiders.
Arigato, racist.
Oh, playing the raid card.
I am. All of you expressed interest when Minus Normal came out, and you said that it was fun. All of you said that it kind of piqued your interest for maybe trying the Savage mode. Have any of you even tried it?
No.
So were you lying?
No.
Lost interest. You all said you had interest in it because the mechanics were so much more fun than Gordius.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen any of you.
Yeah, because the problem is for me, the premise of raiding is still the same. Take your face and bash it against this encounter, this same exact thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For the same results until you beat it.
Let me ask you a question, Nika. Are you still tossing that gear out at 3.5?
I don't know.
Yeah, because the next turn of Coil is going to be coming out, and you'll have tome gear. Yeah, you're going to be pitching all of that shit. So,
but why? But if that's your mentality, then you should just unsubscribe from the game.
No,
because everything you do in the game will be outclassed eventually.
Oh no. Yeah. Let's just shut the whole channel down, and I'll just pack up my shit and go home.
So that's what I'm saying. No, obviously, you do it because it's fun, not necessarily because 2 patches from now you're not going to use this shit.
Okay,
anymore.
no, there you go. Exactly. Was the current turn of Midas fun? Was Maiden fun? Absolutely, it was. Does going into Savage increase that fun? Does it add any new fun to it?
I honestly think it does.
No, I don't think it does.
Have you tried it?
Because I am not interested in that mentality of thinking and that style of gameplay where it's doing the same thing over and over again when the only reward I'm getting out of it is a higher item level.
How about this, Nika? I will issue a challenge to you.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
I'll issue a challenge to you. If you play Dark Souls, I will start Savage raiding. I'm serious, because you have expressed that that's not your style of gameplay. It has the potential to really irk you and get under your skin. I just went through a whole 180 on Dark Souls, where I went from fucking despising it to loving it. Okay,
I don't hate it. I watched Surin play it. It's not my type of game.
It's not your type. I respect Savage, but it's just not my type of play.
Exactly.
No, well, okay, and then that's fair, but I'm saying that all of you said that Midas Normal had made you interested in maybe trying Savage because it was so fun, but then none of you did try it. That's what I was asking. Because you all kind of said that you're kind of interested, and then nobody did.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You can be kind of interested in something and then decide, nah, you know what, nothing's really changed.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, I have fun in doing Duty Finder with, people and stuff like that, but there's not going to be any additional joy from me by going into Savage mode. And you want to know how I know that? Because now when we go in, now, almost 14 weeks on, people are still fucking wiping us to brute justice, and I want to fucking ban them from all forms of Limit Break Raider that I can, because they're terrible. And you want me to go into Savage with these people?
You don't go into Savage with random Duty Finder scrubs.
I'm not talking about random Duty Finders. I'm talking about people from our free company. But you're right. I should go in with them because they're casuals. I should probably go in with all the other raiders that are so plentiful on our server. In order for me to actually give a go at trying Savage, I'd have to go to Gilgamesh or Goblin or wherever the fuck.
Well, there's 4 of you in the room right there who all said you were positively
interested. And 2 of us are ninjas.
Yeah. Okay. And one of us, Juxta, how many hours do you think you've logged on to FF14 in the last week? Right.
I haven't either, but I still am rating.
Yeah, but
he Juxta doesn't have the time.
Well, Juxta literally doesn't have the time, or the his back will not
capacity to sit down.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing, is that Juxta did have all of these streaming plans and stuff that he wanted to do on stream. Got his job, hurt his back, and I mean all of that has kind of been in flux.
I totally understand real life obligations. Don't get me wrong.
No, but I'm just saying again, it's not a style of play that really
resonates with us.
Yeah, I mean,
so when we have all these other
but
things
it's when you sit
piling
here
up,
and complain about how there's nothing to do, and when you all said that there was an interest previously, why not try it?
Right, I think the question
that's all I'm saying.
I get what she's asking is like Alexander Midas did pique our interest in rating, but none of us kind of took the step to go for it.
But I don't think you have to. I think just because something piques your interest, you don't have to do it for that interest to be dismissed.
But I think the question is what kept us there. What said like, well, my interest is piqued, but I'm not going to do it. What was the
aside from my back, I can safely say that the reason that my interest was just wiped away. Why? What was the incentive?
Yeah, exactly.
What was the incentive?
There is no incentive except it's fun, but I can get from just doing Midas.
Right.
There's nothing extra
But I
from
don't feel
Savage.
I don't think that that's fair to say, because there are so many things in
It's
this game
an
that's like, why
opinion.
do it when next patch I'm going to be like, why grind lore tomes? Because next patch I can just do the next tome.
Because
no, that's true. But hang on, but that's
that's
fucking.
why I say why play
No.
it. That's going to be your mentality.
But Nika, that's fucking true, because if like for example, when my computer was down and I couldn't play, I wasn't finding other ways to grind tomes or get on and make sure that my tomes were capped, because I knew in 2 patch cycles that it wouldn't fucking matter. I wasn't actually motivated to try to log on and continue to try to play through that technical complication. Whereas with other games in the past, with other MMOs, I have been motivated to push through it, and I would buy the game on another system, or I'd play the game on a system that is worse, or on a laptop or something. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't access it, I'm just okay, fine, whatever, and it doesn't stress me out, and it doesn't really bother me. So yeah, I mean, again, it comes down to,
you were saying the incentive is, like if you could do things that could get you ahead for later patches. Whereas, I mean, if you did Savage, you could get the upgrade items to 240, which we're going to be getting in the next spoiler.
so that you can be ready
for
so you can be ready for the next leg of Savage. It doesn't get you ready for the next leg of Dungeons. It doesn't get you ready for the next leg of the 90% of content that we're going to be doing. Like you can just get tomes and do that shit.
Yeah, I have 2 things to say.
You only ever upgrade items to be able to continue to do raiding. It's a self-contained system that it leaks a little bit out into the world, but it doesn't really fucking matter.
He's talking about being ready for the end patch. That's not gonna suddenly be invalidated at the next patch. If you're working towards the end of an expansion's item level, when the next patch hits, you're still working towards that same spot. Nothing's been invalidated, whereas with lore weapons or with Maiden stuff, those are invalidated each patch. And I'm the opposite of Aniero. The reason that I'm actually okay with logging on and grinding out lore to be ready for the next patch, even though it's going to be invalidated, is it's about how much time and how much effort you want to invest. If I make $15 at a job that's fucking shitty as hell, that's fine. I'm going to do it. $15 an hour? Fuck yeah. But for $7 an hour? No, it's not worth it.
Dude, I'll be totally honest. If I started raiding and I got raid gear, I would cancel my sub after I was done. You know what I mean? Like after I got all the gear that I felt like I wanted, or I got to a point where I felt like I was done, I would unsub. I would just stop logging on.
How is that any different than now, where you said that there's nothing to do anyway?
Well, at least now I'm getting on each week and grinding on Tuesday for reset day and grinding my tones out. There would be literally no point to do that if I was raiding. None whatsoever.
I just grind for my second job.
I mean, Nika's still raiding here at this point. She's still got 2 more weeks before the next patch. She's only on turn 6.
Yeah, but I'm better than her, so.
Okay.
Every male in this room is better than Nika.
The truth emerges.
I'll tell you what.
Whether that's true or not isn't the point. The fact is that I don't know. I just think that
Hey Nika, will your group take me on a raid?
Only when you get a wyvern pet.
Yeah.
We asked you if you wanted to join our status,
you did. That, to be fair, that's
and you
true.
Declined us.
I said no because I work those nights. But yes.
None of us, nobody
no one
else
else
here got
yeah.
an invitation from Nika. And you know what? No, Juxie, you know what? Because she actually told us once, because we said this before, like, oh, you never invited us, Nika. Well, we don't need a ninja. Guess what she has in her raid now?
Is it a fucking ninja?
It's a fucking ninja.
That time we had a Dragoon, and Dragoon and Ninja.
Yeah.
That's quite the 180.
She wants us to Savage, but not with her.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, that's I think that's the thing that blows my mind about specifically Nika arguing this point, is that she's like, come on guys, do it, just not with me.
That's not the.
And then she's like, nobody raided.
Oh, that's not.
I can't find any raiders for my group, guys.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to raid with me.
There's 4 raiders sitting right there in your fucking room.
No,
You wouldn't go if she
some of these
asked.
arguments coming back to bite you in the ass, Nika, huh?
You wouldn't go if she asked.
And try to jump in at A6 or what the fuck ever. You're gonna suck balls. Like, if you are literally interested in rating, like the people in the LBR link show had it right.
So now
we're
not good enough.
No,
now we're not good enough.
No, you're not.
Final coil, and you're going to learn how to fucking raid, and then try the hardest shit.
How many Alex Savages have you done, Scully?
Oh God,
so many, right?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with none.
Okay, but you
asked us.
But still got the invitation.
Yeah.
She likes me.
I just want to be invited. That's all.
Oh, but
So you can say no.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe if I was actually legitimately invited, I'd give it a try.
To a real raiding group that actually progresses? Man, that might spur my interest in raiding, but I mean...
However, part of that does have to do with the fact that I know that your work schedules are all over the place.
More excuses.
There we go.
The amount of pride...
I think, if I'm mistaken, I think most of us get together on Tuesdays.
The amount of pride and happiness that swelled within me...
Rated, what would be the point in doing tomes and doing reset days? That's pretty much my stance right now. I only do my tomes for my 3rd and 4th jobs. So if I'm on there for reset day, that's what I'm doing. I could just unsub or not log in until raid days.
I think that this identifies a problem overall, is that you've got players that engage at every level of the game, including raiding, and all of us are sitting here saying, well, we might as well just fucking unsub. All of us are looking at the next 2 weeks like, what the fuck are we gonna do? This is actually a real problem, like disambiguated from like challenging us on raiding and all of that. This is a real problem because every player at every level of this game is going, why am I still paying every month for this? And I think that is a fair fucking question. I mean, we're waiting until June 7th to get our next content update, and then maybe we'll have some stuff to get us to 3.4. But in reality, we're probably going to be sitting here for 6 weeks going, well, what the fuck do we do now?
Glamour.
Honestly, because and that's the thing is I mean honestly, I feel like if I was working on raiding outside of like right when a raid was dropped, there would be nothing to work towards. I don't have 2nd and 3rd jobs, Nika.
Guys.
I wouldn't even be getting lore for that shit.
Taser just point out the best thing. Time, like that we have or don't have, is not a legitimate excuse for why we haven't tried raiding. But it is a legitimate excuse on why we can't raid with Nika. Huh.
No, it is, because mine are very, very set days. Realize that was
what you're saying,
me, right?
You're saying one of the reasons I didn't invite you, or why I don't invite you, is because you guys have such a busy schedule.
Exactly.
Well, it's not like I was ever asked.
But we should still find time to do Savage raiding.
Okay, I'm just gonna say...
It's a double standard there, Nika.
No, I'm pretty sure what Taser said was in my favor. Is that you guys, that way. Because you have crazy work schedules, you can still figure it out if you wanted to. However, your crazy work schedules don't line up with mine.
That's an assumption on your part.
Taser Smurf says, I have to log in because no one else cares about the garden.
You're not wrong.
I mean, for other raid groups, I've adjusted my work schedule so that I'm available to raid.
But then still didn't show up.
Yeah, because if I have to work, I have to work.
Well, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. People who raid hardcore or even midcore, you can't just say, "Oh, but there's a slight chance you're not going to show up 5 minutes before the raid."
If you work in fucking radio, you can't exactly go to your to your boss and say, "Hey, I can't." I can't. I got to raid instead.
What I'm saying is you have to find a group that is everyone is like that, so that way if it happens, nobody's going to be upset. But when we have a group that's 100% there every single day, we're not going to take 1 or 2 people that are just going to say, "Oh, 5 minutes before, sorry guys, can't come tonight." That fucks everybody.
Well, that sounds pretty inflexible on your part, Nika.
No.
But she's playing with 7 people who are like that. If she has a
except
group,
for her bard.
if she has a
always
group
has
that
to find a
functions that
placement
way,
for it.
that's fine. She's saying if we're going to get in on this,
I'm just saying, like, if you're going to issue the challenge and then not extend the invite, I think that's pretty hypocritical
That's not how
a little
this game works,
shitty,
and you
like,
know that.
and a little
No.
shitty personally.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's a little
Not
shitty.
How this game works.
that's
and you know
shitty.
That's not how
Triggered.
this game works. If you don't know
Points.
how to raid and you came into my raid group, we'd be fucking carrying your ass and you fucking know it.
No,
Don't
it's-
even pull that bullshit right now. Get out of here.
Wow, you did trigger.
Wow, no, it's just that's a shitty attitude to lay at my feet to go, well, you seemed pretty interested in it, and then like I didn't bother to come and help you or try to, like, what the fuck? Like,
Find a static group that has your scheduled times and you fuck with them.
Quit being shitty.
That's how it's
Hold on.
Quit being shitty.
Speaking of challenge,
No.
speaking of the challenge, Nika,
Are you
going
gonna
to
play
accept
Dark
the Dark
Souls?
Soul challenge?
Gonna play Dark Souls?
I don't know, maybe.
No.
It's a challenge.
Come
it has
on.
to be a yes or no.
I mean, it doesn't
Like,
jive with your play
What is
style.
your stipulation? Like, play it as in what? Like, try it?
Does
and
she have to
rate
beat it?
Yeah, you have to beat it.
Okay, well, if I have to beat Dark Souls, you have to beat Savage, which I doubt is. You're saying I have to beat Dark Souls for you to try Savage once? No, that's not how this works. I'll try Dark Souls once if you try Savage once.
Well,
If I beat Dark Souls,
according
beat
to
Savage,
you,
damn
according
it.
to you, I can't just try Savage once. I've got to find a static.
Why don't we put a minimum amount of hours invested on it then?
Well, I would say we're about to have the Savage Duty Finder. You don't have to find a static anymore. You can just jump in on the Duty Finder.
That's true.
So, I mean, you gonna try Dark Souls or what?
2 hours for 2 hours? Sound fair?
See,
know,
listen to that. Listen to that reluctance.
I'll do
Listen
2
to that
hours instead of 2
reluctance.
hours.
You
I'll
should do
2
5
for 2
hours. 2
No,
hours.
2 hours is nothing.
Yeah, you should definitely do at least 5.
2 hours is nothing. But I mean, like, look at your reluctance to sit down and play a game that you know you don't like. It's a play style. I mean,
the thing is, but see, that's not even my reluctance. My reluctance is the fact that I barely play one-player games as it is. Like, I play The Witcher and Metal Gear, and then even though MGO came out and I was so excited, I touched it once. Like, I don't play any other game but this one. So it's not really my reluctance to Dark Souls, my reluctance to find time to play a one-player game.
Again, we're down to the time issue. I like how it's a valid excuse for you, Nika, but when it comes to us, it's completely invalid.
You wanna know why?
Oh my god, it totally is valid. I'm saying, but if you actually had the interest, you would find the time, which proves to me that when you said you had the interest, you really didn't.
Or it was just a passing interest?
Yeah.
You know what I think the problem here is?
Jesus Christ.
The problem is here she's sexist.
I've never
because
I've never had
her
my words.
excuses are okay for her, and sometimes they're okay for Escalia, okay? But for the rest of us men,
depending on
For the
his
rest of
bracelet.
you are
exactly,
such an
depending on his
asshole, so-
bracelet. Put your finger down. Until you get tits, there's no chance.
Oh my God. No, actually, I'm only bringing this up because somebody brought it up on the stream the day that I was raiding. Somebody asked me, I thought the guy said they were going to raid. Why haven't they tried it?
Nobody
That's the
said we were
only-
gonna
Why
raid.
why is it hang on, no, why is it that if we say, hey, this is interesting, or this it kind of makes us sort of interested in raiding, why is it that that's like a definite like a commitment to do raiding on your end? Like, and not just you, but the chat does this shit to us all the time, where like we say something offhandedly and then you like it's like we made a promise.
It's the equivalent of, oh, you got a Dragoon weapon drop. You got a level Dragoon now. You
No,
gotta
was
do
just that
it.
I remember that we were very, very critical as a whole against Gordius,
Right.
and then once Midas Normal came out, we were all like, "Man, this is a really good idea. Square Enix is really, they really understand what we want. That sounds really interesting.
It
Maybe
was a
I'll
step
actually
in the
try
right
it this time."
direction.
Like,
You're
I
not
was
wrong.
really
We
excited.
said all of those things. We're not saying that we didn't say all of those things, but like, why does that imply that there has to be every level of follow through on it? Like, I mean, yeah, it did look interesting, but it didn't get me into Savage.
We didn't slice our hand open and sign it in blood.
It did, like, here's the point, is that it didn't get me into Savage, which that is fucking Square Enix's problem. That is their problem. They don't incentivize participation in this shit well enough. It doesn't matter how good the mechanics are or how well designed the fights are. If the overwhelming incentive to go in the first place isn't there, I'm not gonna take it. I'm just not. There is no clear incentive. There never has been. This has always been the problem with raiding in 14. This is why I keep calling for different rewards or an adjustment to the reward system. The problem is intrinsic in the system. It's not that I'm not motivated enough, for Christ's sake. If I'm not motivated enough to do work for Limit Break Radio, why do I sit around and spend 8 hours a day, working on post-production or, trying to come up with discussion topics for the show? Why don't we just shut the whole thing down? Why don't we shut LBR down and just divert all of our resources to Final Encounter Cast?
Because Glam...
It's not panning out. It's not panning out this patch. Let's just pack up all our shit and go home.
Okay, we're a dead podcast anyway.
Dying.
But we
Not
did beat
We're
Final
dying.
Fantasy
We're
11.
dying.
Our Final Fantasy 11 record shows.
Yeah, 64 episodes.
So this is actually a fine place. Look, we're more of a success than we were. Let's pack it up and wait for FF16.
I mean, that logic of like, well, why do you still play the game? Because I host Limit Break Radio.
And because I have fun just collecting glamour.
Fuck's sake.
Me and Chuck's actually
Glamour's
joke
your incentive to pay $13 a month.
Yes, actually, we joke about it.
Hosting,
and for a lot of people, it is.
Hosting this show is a reason to pay $13 a month and is a reason to keep logging in.
That I agree with.
But it's not. But you know
Glamour.
what?
Not everyone has a popular podcast that they have to stay connected to the game to.
Yeah, but again, we've identified nobody tunes into this show to hear us give opinions about about specific segments of fights in a current raid. We've never talked about this game in that way. So there's no compelling reason, even as a commentator, for me to get involved in raiding. And again, that's Square Enix's problem because they haven't incentivized the shit at all. It all becomes useless in 2 patches. Everything, even the lore gear. And I agree. Yeah, it sort of does feel like, well, what would be the point of lore gear? And if I didn't have this show, I might be done. I might have been done a long time ago.
Until they put in you get a free level 5 materia every time you do Void Art, or every week or whatever. Mm-hmm. Nobody gave a shit about that either.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm like ready to pack it in on this game. I believe in this game, and I like I feel like I like this game every 6 months. Every 6 months, I kind of turn the corner on this game again, and then it gets boring. Then you got to wait for the next content cycle, and then there's something relevant. Now we can do things again.
You want to know the main reason besides glamour that I log on every day? Because actually, I was asked this question a few weeks ago in stream. Someone came in and said, "What motivates you to log on and play every single day?"
Because, I just want to point out that the Twitch section of FF14 is fucking barren these days. Even the big hitters are not really logging on to 14 because there's objectively shit
Nothing to do right now.
And when they do, they don't get high viewer count either.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the reason that I log on now is our fans. It's the Limit Break Radio FC. Logging in and seeing people there and doing stuff with them and making fun of Skuro.
The community that exists around both this show and that we've built in FF14, yeah, that is the tether that keeps me here.
Since we've actually gotten the free company house, Eorzea feels different to me. It actually feels like I'm logging on to friends and family and people.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Skuro.
And let's get it.
He's none of those things.
Again, if you'd like to call the show, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. If you want to call us
and tell Nika how ridiculous she's being,
if you
please do.
If you want to call us and tell us that we're lazy bitches for not rating or whatever, I'd love for you to try to convince me why I should get into rating, especially now. Like right now, like why should I get into Midas Savage?
You know what?
If you can convince, I mean, maybe I'll pick it up if someone can call in and convince me why it's a good idea or why it would be something investing my time in.
I mean, at least if you down the Final Savage, I will give Limit Break Radio $1 million.
Oh, we'd probably hop on that.
Yeah, that would be something.
You just hear his mic hitting the floor, booting everything up.
Everyone's just watching as he gets up from the table and leaves, puts his flag up.
So let's go to